Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. It's the final countdown. So, welcome. Tonight, we are doing science fiction that became science fact. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. So, I've got a couple of lists here, and I wish I knew how to share my screen. I've got to learn how to do that. But the easiest one, I think, first on the list, the tricorder. Yeah, we all thought that Star Trek and all that tricorders, that was the coolest thing, hey, beam me up, Scotty. And now I've got my own tricorder, and it's more powerful than anything that they had on the show, and it does more than anything that they had on the show. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We've all got tricorders in our pockets, and much more sophisticated than anything that they thought of in the 60s and 70s. So, but let's talk about, I've got a couple of articles pulled up on here. We were talking about the Ansible the other night with quantum entanglement between two atoms, and that being able to, do instantaneous communication like an Ender's Game. But there are other things and some of these that I didn't even know. Did you know that the tractor beam is real? Let's see. In Australia, they have done experiments where, now mind you, this is only like minor stuff, but lasers could manage to move a tiny object about 20 centimeters. So it's something about the size of a pea. They can move 20 centimeters, which is actually, not that bad. So tractor beams are now real. They've got the No More Needles, the hypo spray. You remember those things on Star Trek where they just put it up to the neck and go, and they inject something into you? We have those now. Let's see, what else is on this list? I'm going to make it a little bit brighter so I can read. Energy weapons. I mean, we have tasers now. That's a real thing. And the Invisibility Cloak. This one is super cool. Whether you're a Harry Potter fan or a space traveler, cloaking is often used to refer to invisibility, bending light around an object to make it disappear. This can actually be done for small objects. If you want to arrange a set of lenses in a precise arrangement, you can do it, but it's really just an optical trick. So there's other cloaking devices that the Army is working on, cloaking devices where it's a way of projecting the background screen or background of whatever you're up against, and so that soldiers can wear this uniform and it actually cloaks them. So that exists. And then this one, I was looking at a lot of videos today, power armor, exoskeleton suits and stuff like that. So that exists. And I haven't said hello to everybody. I'm sorry about that. I'm so excited about this topic. And thank you to American Nacho for suggesting this. This was a great suggestion for a topic. But we've got survival, we've got Samantha, we've got Lawrence. They were all in early, so thank you. And then we've got Joanne is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. So warp drive technology. They're working on that. They didn't do much on that one. Teleporters. So quantum entanglement using, that's not really teleportation, but okay. Science fiction that became science fact. 3D printers. Did you know that was written up in sci-fi? So, hey, Angry Floki's here. Welcome. Cyberspace. That used to be something that was sci-fi. Your iPod, going back to the phone, our smartphones, they had who was it? oh gosh, I can't remember which one I was talking about, but it was talking about, I think it was Fahrenheit 451 was talking about being able to have that kind of technology where you had music on a little device. And it's like, yeah, we got all sorts of music. You've got credit cards where people can exchange money. That's straight from Cyberpunk and Shadowrun. Let's see more. We got. Oh, that's not video phones. That was in Jules Verne, something that Jules Verne did, talking about video phones. So that's something. Oh, the thimble radio. That's what it was called, and it was from Fahrenheit 451. So, and then broadcast news. Jules Verne in 1889 said that in the year 2889. He predicted that instead of being printed, the news of the day was spoken to subscribers. Well, we were a little earlier than that. He might have been better at predicting, 1989 or something like that. Light-propelled spacecraft, with solar sails and things like that. That's been in a number of anime, but it was also in Jules Verne's From the Earth to the Moon. That was written in 1865. So, hey, Shaman's here. I can't take credit for the great topic. This was American Nacho suggested it, and he's not here. So we need to go bug him. Yeah, and when he comes in, he gets to wear the dunce cap and sit in the corner for showing up late to his own video that he wanted. So... erasing memories. This one terrified me when I heard about this. From the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. In 2013, scientists were testing a drug that blocked certain types of memories in animals with a single dose. 3 months old memories of lab rats were erased. 3 months. So they can go back 3 months and erase memories. And weeks later, there was no sign of the memory returning. So my little dachshund is complaining about something. I think Sam's got her blocked in somewhere. So I will be right back. Sam, let her down. Come on. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They like to sit on the heater. Technical difficulties. They like to sit on the heater in the front room, and I've got it so that Free can get up there on steps. But the problem is that she'll go up there, and then Sam will lay down, and then she can't get off. So, naughty Sam. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, are you gonna apologize? You're gonna. Oh! What are you doing? Okay, get down. Oh. And I don't know why my machine is making noises. So, Samantha says, I think they've had solar sails for a little bit, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, we have had them for a while. We use them. There's a probe that's going to the sun right now, and I can't remember the name of the probe, but it's using solar sails. So I think I know a few of the guys that were working on it because they're just out here in Denver. So, yeah, that's another one. They had rats that were able to turn back the aging process with a crazy experiment. But it was like turning a 60-year-old into a 35-year-old. I don't know. There are quite a few 60-year-olds who would take that up. There's an octopus that we actually think is mortal, because it grows and then it may be a jellyfish. It may not be an octopus, but I thought it was an octopus. It grows to full maturity and it stays at full maturity for a while, and then it goes backwards in time and becomes young again, and then grows old again, and then grows young again. So we actually have no idea. These things are, as far as we know, immortal. So that's cool. You want to get up, Free? Come on. Come on. Good girl. All right. Both the doggies. There we go. We got both the doggies in the house. Here's one that was absolutely amazing to me. We've got nanobots. So jellyfish. Okay. Samantha P is saying it's a jellyfish. So, but yeah, immortal jellyfish. And then we have the, what was it? I'm thinking about the Portuguese man of war. That's a jellyfish. That's actually 4 creatures that are one, but that's not what I was trying to think. Oh, nanobots. So this guy won the Pulitzer Prize in chemistry for creating robots, basically, that are the size of molecules. I mean, talk about, we're all worried about mercury in our vaccines and stuff like that. What about nanobots in our vaccine? Can you imagine that? Ooh, that's creepy. We're going to reprogram your brain from the inside. So, hey, Logic is here. How you doing? And then, but it was literally like being reborn rather than continued life. Well, we don't really know because, we don't really know that much about jellyfish. So, what does a jellyfish think? We have no idea. But so that was another cool one. Picture phones, we've gone over that one. Full body scans in the 1990 film Total Recall portrayed full body security scanners, and we've got those in airports now. The future of flight. Now, this was the modern helicopter that back in the 1800s. They had kind of like helicopter machines there and helicopter toys back then, because that was actually what some of the first things that Wilbur and Orville Wright played with was toy helicopters, because you have those little things that you spin like that. So they made toy helicopters before they created the first airplane. Well, they didn't really. There's a whole story behind that. But so what else do we have? Oh, Google Glass, Star Trek. That's straight out of Star Trek. They keep talking about the lunar landing, but Mission to Mars and the War in the Worlds, Cars That Drive Themselves. In 1964, Isaac Asimov wrote an article for the New York Times predicting robot brain cars. And so we have those now. I mean, goodness, that was 60 years later, less than. Let's see. That's not tossing tech. Yeah, okay, so this isn't really an invention, but in Blade Runner by Philip K. Dick, they talk about tossing technology that, the second that the new thing came out, we just throw away the old thing, which is basically what we do now. So, and that was dystopian. Mood-altering medication. Did you know that was in science fiction? That was in A Brave New World, 1931, Aldous Huxley. So before 1950, antidepressants weren't even the subject of scientific experimentation, let alone in regular use. And now they're all over the place. So, here's a cool one. Jet skis. Jet skis were actually invented as a result of the James Bond films. They made a prototype for the James Bond films, and some guy saw it and actually started creating them in real life. So, that's something, science fiction-y, but not really, more action-based. But yeah, based on fiction coming to reality. The one that I remember as a kid was the automatic sliding doors out of Star Trek, and those being installed in all the supermarkets. So there's a thing. And that was when I was a kid. Jetpack flying, Survival says. Yep, we've got that. Although that's still pretty dangerous. They've still got to work the kinks out of that one. But the defibrillator, that's out of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So space stations, in the 1869 novella, The Brick Moon, they talked about having space stations. We've got one overhead. We used to have two, but Mars crash landed. Machine learning, 1872. Charles characters in Samuel Butler's novel Erewhon, Erewhon, talk about machine learning. So that's some science fiction. Lab-grown meat. In the 1880 short story Missoura, Mary Bradley Lane describes Amazonians who transformed beef's chemical elements into synthetic burgers. So we have synthetic burgers. Yeah, Angry Floki, we talked about that. Was my first example, was the transponders, the tricorders and things like that, straight out of Star Trek. Landing probes. Hey, Praying Mantis, good to see you. Landing probes on asteroids. Yep, that's another one we've done. Cryo chambers from Demolition Man. Do we know that those work yet? I don't know that those exactly work. So it's okay, Praying Mantis, that you're late. The one who we really need to get on when he's late, when he comes in here, is American Nacho. If he shows up, he should show up. He better show up. I did this for him. So Samantha P says something that has nothing to do necessarily with technology, but your own body is technically a ton of electronic connections with our brains literally in a fluid vat. Yes. So brain in a jar. She says, she continues, that's always crazy to think about if we're all just not real and just animation. Yeah. That these are just vessels, and our soul is some sort of electronic current that is just laid over these meat containers. And yeah, I could see that. I mean, the idea that we can reprint or like clone ourselves and live forever that way, that may actually be a real possibility. So Logic Rex says, I don't know if they work, but there's definitely rich people that have frozen themselves in real life. Yeah, Walt Disney, I think, is rumored to, or actually is in cryogenic sleep. So, but yeah, waking them back up, don't know about that yet. Battlebots, yes, we have mechs, like straight out of Mech Warrior. We have mechs. Full on, self-learning robots that'll open doors for one another. I'm sure you guys have seen those videos. Those are absolutely fascinating. But yeah, I wish I knew how to share these videos, because exoskeletons and BattleBots. We have full on, robots that can battle one another, full like giant size mech suits that can battle one another. So Survival says, Nacho, better get your ass in here. Yes, sir. So long-term heat storage. Hush, Sam. From the 1905 story Sultana's Dream. Saving the summer sun in a warm town through winter. So yeah, this is they use underground pipes in Alberta, Canada, to transfer antifreeze in it, that using radiative heat into 52 homes for the whole cold season. So Survival says, Pam, if you want to share a video, you can share your screen on here. Me and Logic did it earlier. Yeah, but it does this weird thing. Let me see if I can get it to go. Share Share audio. We want to do that. A Brave tab. Okay, here we go. Share that.
Who among us hasn't wondered about having a magnificent tail like animals do? Say hello to ARC, which its inventors described as an artificial biomimicry-inspired anthropomorphic tail to allow us to alter our body momentum for assistive and haptic feedback applications. In simpler terms, Fast Company notes this one helps the wearer stay balanced when moving quickly or carrying heavy objects. Further, as the tail was designed with gaming in mind, it could also be used to throw the user off balance, making a game feel more realistic. Number 8, an arm strong enough to smash through walls, if that's what you want to do. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers reports that with some tweaking, the hydraulic appendage can also assist with a variety of household and commercial tasks, like gardening, painting walls, and operating cumbersome power tools.
That looks a little janky to me, don't you think?
Number 7, the
Here we
cyborg
go.
suit. Put it on and suddenly you're an 8-foot-tall, part human, part machine who, according to the company, is ready to go forth and make the world of evolved humankind happen. Notably, you'll have to shell out some serious cash first. The suits, called Arrive, cost around $45,000. Number 6, leg cuffs developed by Stanford University that make running easier. It does that by helping the feet lift off the ground, the part of the running that's considered the hardest. This could be used as an aid by rescue workers or for exercise.
Only 20% of Americans have gone for a jog in the last year. That's often because people don't feel very athletic or they don't perceive themselves to be.
All right. So, yeah, I wanted to catch up on these comments because these are absolutely hilarious. Survival said furries are at full mast right now. Frank Manda says you're getting a tail and you're gonna like it, sir. Lawrence says he doesn't want a tail either. So yeah, and humans are taking laziness to way new heights. Yeah, I don't want to run. Let's just have these mechanical legs run for me. So oh my goodness. Gets online orders for Survival's furry tail. That's awesome. But yeah, so full-on exosuits, full-on battle mechs, you know, ones that you get inside, and then also they have remote control ones coming to a, you know, battleground theater near you. And who's calling and interrupting my show? Nobody I know. All right. Let's see. What was the other one? The BBC has this article. So yeah, you've got prosthetics, you know, like real functional prosthetics. Like one of the things that they talk about with prosthetics, one of the hardest things to do is pick up a piece of paper without destroying it. So they have prosthetics now that are that sensitive. And, you know, where they actually can feel through the prosthetic fingers and things like that. Full feedback into the arms. So the whole Star Wars, you know, Luke's artificial hand could be coming to, you know, a mechanical theater near you. So Praying Mantis says, can I bounce on the tail like a Tigger? It might be a game changer there. That would be a game changer. I like that. So, yes, where is Nacho? Nacho's in big trouble. So, the telemarketer. Oh, are you talking like Teletubbies? That's kind of scary. So, we did the video phone. Yep, we did the mech suits. They've got full-on like Iron Man battle suits that you could do. Let's see. Tractor beams and energy weapons. That was the other one, energy weapons. So like, you know, blasting things from space. We've got those going on right now. We did the flip phones, the tricorders. Oh, they keep talking. The moon landing. Yeah, no kidding. Gesture controlled computers from Minority Report, when he was doing that whole thing like that and pressing in the air to do the computer. We have that. So, holograms. That was, out of Star Wars. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. So when he fixed R2, and self-adjusting laces. Oh, from Marty McFly's Back to the Future. Yeah, that's not quite as cool as the other things we have going on. So, 3D printing in the replicator, the first atomic bomb, that was written about in science fiction. Wireless ear headphones, they're going back to Fahrenheit 451. So all of those. Let's see. Power armor. Yep, we just did that. So yeah, lots and lots of cool things. But the coolest thing was, to me, the nanobots. I mean, to have molecules that work like robots. You're talking about things we can't see with our naked eye, and it's a robot. Woo. Imagine a robot attacking your cancer, surgery done from the inside. That sounds absolutely fantastic to me. So, Samantha P says, I also think having satellites going out to the edge of the solar system and beyond is like crazy sci-fi futuristic. Yeah, they had that Voyager with in Star Trek returning and talking. The computer animated voices, that's straight out of sci-fi. We have that. So, and just all sorts of crazy cool things that, somebody's mind dreams of. We've got, just the whole thing of Cyberpunk from, and I'm forgetting his name now. Who's the author who did all the Cyberpunk stuff originally? And he only writes on a typewriter. He doesn't actually use a computer to write any of his novels. Did a whole series of them and we have it now. I mean, with what we're talking on now, the internet, that's cyber reality. And going into the computer using cyber reality. So, Logic Rex says, no vaccines for me. Where's my damn tinfoil hat? Exactly. Oh my gosh. Samantha P says, we got our first glimpse of supernovas not too long back and the full formation of a black hole. There's some dispute about that as to whether or not that was actually a picture of a black hole or if it was just the camera lensing. So, but that's kind of like science fact becoming science fact. I don't think that Einstein thought it was fiction. I think he thought that stuff was real. So, Survival says, you don't want Bill Gates putting nanobots in you? Okay, Praying Mantis, go ahead. Photo enhancement technologies from Blade Runner. You're absolutely right. And originally the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. The Turing test. We got the Turing test from that novel to be able to distinguish from robots and humans. So Logic Rex says, tell that man to keep his nanobots to himself and other things. I mean, good gosh. Deep fake video tech. That's another one that, was science fiction that's become science fact. And then Samantha P says, I heard that it was enhanced, but supposedly real. Yeah, that's the problem is that, the enhancement, somebody wrote a scientific paper disputing it, going back and saying, nah, about that enhancement, how much did you enhance and how much did you invent? So yeah, there's real question about that. Gordon Dickinson Do you mean neuromancer? I'm going to have to look this up. So I think you're close, Shaman. Yeah. William Gibson. That's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of William Gibson. So we were both kind of right. Yeah, not Gordon Dixon, but William Dixon. So Logic Rex says, right, like people actually creating fakes of politicians and celebrities talking. Well, we already had that. I mean, it was like the last when what's her name? Arkansas woman. Hillary Clinton, her last appearance, her guest appearance on one of these late night shows that nobody watches, that was actually a deep fake. Now they had a real actress up there, and then they put the deep fake on top of her of Hillary Clinton, and you could tell because there was a lot of clipping around the edge of the face and stuff like that. So I mean, it's already been used in an actual TV show. But there's some copyright cases going on right now. I think actually with a porn star who had a number of deep fakes of her made, and she took them to court and sued him and said, hey, my actual face and body, that is my property, those images, and she's going under copyright law and suing these guys saying, take all this stuff down. But, pretty soon it's going to be like everything else. And the Jordan Peterson simulator where you can type in anything you want and Jordan Peterson will say it, just because there are like thousands and thousands of hours of Peterson talking. They were able to, so, you can do a deep fake of Jordan Peterson's voice. I can't remember. I think it's like Peterson Speaks or something like that is the name of the website. So Survival says, Logic, it scares me a bit. It scares me a bit too, because then how do we know, real from fake? Unless you're actually in the room with the person, you may not know that what you're watching is a complete fabrication. So Logic Rex says that could legit set off a world event if it was ever used as a psyop. Exactly. I mean, you could have the mullahs coming up there and saying that, Iran is now making a peace deal with Israel and have it broadcast across Iranian TV and across the world and stuff like that. And how could the mullahs say, no, that wasn't real. We're not signing a peace deal with Israel. That could change so much. And so, yeah, things are going to get really scary. I might be a deep fake right now. I probably am. None of you have ever seen me in person. Think about that. So, Samantha says, where is that? Let me look it up. So, Jordan Peterson, I'll look it up here. We'll pull it up, do a screen share. So, Jordan Peterson deepfake. It is called, it's been shut down. Oh, that's sad. So it says here, it was called notjordanpeterson.com. And it was absolutely hilarious. Let me see if they put it back up, because that would be okay.
Hello and welcome to Not Jordan.
Okay, here we go. Let me do a screen share. So we're going to do the Not Jordan Peterson. All right. So yeah, there's what the site looks like. And let's go ahead and play this. Do I have audio on? I think I've got it on.
JordanPeterson.com. This is not Jordan Peterson. In fact, I'm a neural network designed to sound like Dr. Peterson. Unfortunately, for the time being, the site will remain inoperable, but please sign up to the mailing list below if you would like to stay informed of future developments.
Doesn't that sound exactly like him? And that wasn't him at all. That was just because he said so many things online throughout the years that they were able to make a deep fake of his voice, and you could type in anything you wanted and it would say whatever you had typed in Jordan Peterson's voice. So yeah, not jordanpeterson.com. That's what it's called. And yeah, so, you know, eventually when there's enough hours of me online, they'll be able to deep fake my voice. So, let's see, let me get back to this. Logic Rex says, see, now you got me talking about psyops, not fun. It's all good. So, yeah, what generation would you say we're in now? Because yeah, they're already doing, as Shaman mentions, 5th generation warfare. We're already in that phase right now, I would say, and heading into 6th generation. Yeah, Floki, we did the cars driving themselves. So you need to show up on time. This shows you, this is a lesson. You need to be on time. And yeah, Logic Rex says creepy. Yeah, totally spooky stuff. You know, from now on, the world is just not going to be the same. I mean, once this, you know, things get developed and then they get better and they get faster and then they get, you know, more widespread so that anybody can do them. And, you know, hey, let's just put an app on your phone. You know, that's the next step. Everybody will have it. Everybody will be able to do deep fakes of this person, that person, the other. You know, voice impersonators will be out of business. Any comedian trying to do a voice impersonation, forget about it. That's last year's news. So, hey, Gary, you made it and you missed most of it. So, welcome. Gary says, hey, fam. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So, this is interesting. Logic and survival. Either of you heard of the Strauss-Howe generational theory? That sounds familiar, but if you could type that up, I would love to hear what that is. Because what am I doing? I'm sitting at a computer right now. I can look that up. So Strauss-Howe. Strauss-Howe generational theory. Let's go here. All right, Wikipedia says it's, the fourth turning. Yes, I've read that book. So, I mean, we're kind of going through a fourth turning right now. And what this talks about is, there are 4 turnings. There's the high. The first turning is a high, which occurs after a crisis. During the high, institutions are strong and individualism is weak. Society is confident about where it wants to go collectively, though those outside the majoritarian center almost often feel stifled by the conformity. So this is like the post-World War II American high, beginning in 1946 and ending with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Awakening. The second turning is called the awakening. This is an era when institutions are attacked in the name of personal and spiritual autonomy. Just when society is reaching its high tide of public progress, people suddenly tire of social discipline and want to recapture a sense of self-awareness, spirituality, and personal authenticity. Young activists look back at the previous high era as an era of cultural and spiritual poverty. This is the consciousness revolution, which spanned from the campus and inner city revolts in the mid-1960s to the tax revolts of the early 1980s. The unraveling, that's the third turn. The mood of this era, they say, in many ways is the opposite. The high institutions are weak and distrusted, while individualism is strong and flourishing. The authors say highs come after crises when society wants to coalesce and build to avoid death and destruction of the previous crisis. Unravelings come after awakenings when society wants to atomize and enjoy. They say the most recent unraveling in the US began in the 1980s and includes the long boom and the culture war. So the fourth turning is the crisis. This is an era of destruction, often involving a war or revolution, in which institutional life is destroyed and rebuilt in response to a perceived threat to the nation's survival. After the crisis, civic authority revives, culture expression redirects towards community purpose, and people begin to locate themselves as members as a larger group. The previous fourth turning began with the Wall Street crash of 1929 and climaxed with the end of World War II. So, I mean, I pretty much say that we're in a fourth turning right now because we have lost all trust in any sort of authoritative sources, authoritative sources and things like that. And nobody believes that these authoritative sources actually have any authority anymore. I mean, like, people used to believe in the nightly news and newspapers and things like that. And we just don't. I mean, you pretty much assume that that's propaganda at this point. And that's, we're in a fourth turning right now. I mean, this election is absolutely a fourth turning, the crisis of COVID. We haven't gotten into any new wars thanks to Trump, but we have the revolution going on in the United States with this election. And, the fact that people would try to cheat an election. Sorry, I had to reference Swalwell there. That just tells you that we're in a fourth turning. Nobody trusts the process to actually work. So, that's, survival. Yes. Logic and Survival have a live stream right after this one. So if you guys want to jump immediately from this, Survival, are you going to have it on your channel or Logic's channel, or is it going to be on both? So let us know. Angry Floki says, I was once told if Hollywood shows it, the government has been using it for 20 years. Yeah, pretty much. Any sort of technology that comes out of the government, they've had for at least 20, 30 years, things like that. And they've been using it the entire time, and it's been under top secret programs and stuff like that. So yeah, we're pretty much 2 or 3 decades behind the military. Samantha says, so cool. Basically, weak people make strong kids, and they grow up to have liberal, fruitful, easy life that makes weak kids, etc. But with 4. Yeah, it's that general thing of good times create weak men create bad times create strong men. I think that's what you're referencing there. So, this next generation coming up, the one that's going to go through the crisis that was created, is they're the ones who are going to be strong next, the Generation Z, as it were. So Samantha B says, yeah, we grew up during crisis mode. Yep. So we were there when things turn around. Survival says the cycle continues. It always does. I mean, that's like what we were talking about yesterday, why this stuff resonates. The apocryphal books in the Bible, like Revelations and stuff like that. There's always an apocalypse that comes up. The apocalypse in Revelations was written about the fall of Rome, and Rome did fall. So there's always some sort of apocalypse that's coming up, and hopefully America isn't the next Rome to fall. But it could happen. And yeah, a quick welcome to my, oh, I forget that it's mirrored. Which way am I going? Some direction. You hid way behind me. Okay. My co-host. There we go. Now I got it right. So, yeah, you can follow that pattern of the fourth turning back hundreds of years, and it just fits. It's human nature. You know, it's the history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, you know, sort of thing. So, but man, can you believe it? We've only got 15 minutes left. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that that you want to pull up, man, we zoomed through those. I couldn't believe it. I thought, you know, I wouldn't be able to get through all of those, but we did. So that was cool. And just tons and tons of examples of, you know, what we imagine can be made real. And that's just a fascinating thought. You know, it's like whatever we can dream, you know, whatever sort of fantastical ideas we have in our head, we can make into reality. And we have several times, you know, going back to the 1880s and earlier, you know, with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and stuff like that. So, oh, Samantha, I don't think you got a subtopic. I think it's actually part of, because it's that whole thing of you know, you imagine it, they imagined it so long ago, and then it actually comes into fruition through these cycles that we have. You know, Atlas Shrugged is very much a prediction of our time. If you guys haven't read that, it's kind of hefty. And the live action movies that they made of it were not that good. I do actually recommend reading the book. There's parts of it that you can just skip over. The whole speech by John Galt, just skip over that because it's explaining rather than showing, and the point is made in the earlier chapters in the book. But Atlas Shrugged very much talks about, you know, this kind of fourth turning thing, you know. So yeah, what our fiction writers imagine can come true. You know, they seem to have their finger on the pulse of reality, as it were. So, how many nanobots do you want injected to you on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh my gosh. How about 0? Survival says, I'm going to do just like 2, I think. Yeah, that's a good point, Shaman. History is the future. Absolutely. So yeah, I think, yeah, it's one of those things, you know, what we imagine we can make be. That just is so cool to me. The first one, as I said, when I was a kid, was those sliding doors, and, you know, doors that open by themselves, just knowing that you're there, you know, straight out of Star Trek. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. I thought, I'm living in the future now. It's so awesome. So, yeah, because that was the biggest mystery is, you know, how do those doors open? I mean, you knew that there was somebody there on the set actually pulling open the door. But, you know, my brain was like, how would you make that function? You know, how would you make it so that the door knew you were there and just automatic? Oh, and they did it, you know, and first it was little pressure plates. And then it was the IR, you know, that they were able to, the door was able to see you and just open automatically. So, oh, replicators. There we go. Praying Mantis says, survival, what if they can self-replicate? Yeah, the nanobots can make other nanobots. We know that. We've got self-flying drones that can fly in a swarm. all together and coordinate with one another, like 30 of them. I don't know if you've seen those. Logic Rex says, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Samantha says, hey, if the nanobots are little cell repairing bots, give me 1 million. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is that, it could be healing processes that it does. Surgery from the inside, anti-cancer nanobots from the inside. But with the combination of the fourth turning, who the hell are you going to trust to put those nanobots in you? All our trust and authority has gone out the window. Oh, here's one. And I've been through this. I have actually been a bionic woman. So, bionic parts, the $6 million man, that kind of thing. That's a reality these days. Just all sorts of cool science fiction into science fact. So, oh, hey, Dakota Shea's here. Hi. Sorry, I missed that. But good to have you here. So yeah, we've got just 9 minutes left. Does anybody have any suggestions for videos for the rest of the week? I mean, any ideas? And we all have to go scold Nacho now that he didn't show up. I did this whole show just for him, and he said he was all excited. He got all of you all excited about this. We did it. And where is he? Huh? Naughty boy. So, Praying Mantis said, any other ladies get annoyed by skin regenerative makeup technologies that isn't real? Yes. Oh my gosh. The thing that I learned ages ago was, don't wear makeup. Your skin will thank you for it. Wear as little makeup as possible. I mean, I don't do foundation. I do, just a little bit of concealer for my dark circles. And I rarely wear anything beyond, mascara and a little eyeliner. And your skin will absolutely love you if you do that. So, Logic Rex says 2 words, ancient aliens. I don't know about that one. I mean, there are a couple of things that really are mind-blowing as to, I don't know how they did that. We can get into the pyramids and how they constructed those, but I mean, a lot of that is kind of discrediting the human genius of ancient peoples, but ancient tech. Definitely. I don't know about the aliens part though. I'll think about it. So, Survival says, send me, if you want to, send them to me on Twitter if you get any ideas. Last time I checked, foundation and powder isn't smart or knows where to go. Give me the fifth element thingy. Yeah, where you just put it up on your face and you suddenly have makeup on. That's hilarious. I love it. So, yeah. Oh, Shaman likes it. Uh-oh. We got to vote for it. I may have to do it now. Ancient aliens. I mean, there is some wisdom to it. There is a possibility that it did happen. They exist and the Pentagon admitted it. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to dig that up now. Okay. Aliens and the possibility of ancient aliens, and how about planets moving through the skies? How about tales of that? Ancient tech is definitely a cool one. They had an earthquake predictive machine that the Chinese made, where it actually told you where the earthquake happened, and they had it, these standing staffs, and the staff would fall, and it would fall in the direction of where the earthquake came from. So from the capital city, they could tell where the earthquake was and where they needed to send out, troops and to render aid and things like that. So I could definitely dig into that and see what I could find. but I think you guys might be really interested in the stories about the planets moving through the sky and colliding and stuff like that. Jupiter may not have been where it always has been and that kind of thing. So, yeah, Logic Rex, planets moving through the, yeah. I mean, can you think about it? Yeah, through the sky. Okay, so that definitely has to be one now. Samantha P says, I'm totally down. I think God is aliens, but I'm crazy. It could be. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. So Survival says, that's what my dad thinks. Yeah, I mean, interdimensional beings, that kind of thing. Those could be the gods of old, the titans that were overthrown and things like that. Logic Rex says, well, what's more crazy, thinking God is real equates to aliens, or aliens equal to God? Yeah, see, that's the hard part that I have is I don't think that aliens would be equal to God. I think that God would be above even the aliens. I think that lesser gods and things like that, like Artemis and Zeus and all of those guys, those could have been aliens. But I don't think that the Christian God, the Judeo-Christian God, I don't think that's aliens. I think he's a little bigger. Planet X, yes. And we know about a bunch of planets that are beyond our solar system, and it's just that they're so far away that the light of the sun doesn't reflect well enough back for us to see it, but we can tell by the wobbles and other such things in the planetary orbits that there's something else out there. So Praying Mantis says, want to giggle, look up our 2 extra moons. They have only a couple of meter wide diameter and crazy orbital patterns. They feel more like Neos. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because, we have satellites. Samantha P says, well, I think this is a yes, one higher God and one lower ones. Yeah, exactly. Now that I could get down with. Logic says, well, not equal to, like aliens instead of God. Yeah, exactly. Or here's one that are more like angels, as Samantha P says. I can totally get behind that idea. So Survival says, you could do conspiracy theories next video, brainstorming ideas. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that one too, but if enough people vote that they want to do conspiracy theories. But I think that so many other people have covered that kind of stuff that, that I don't think another video is warranted. But I really like this one. This one was a lot of fun. And so I will definitely do the ancient planets moving through the sky, the ancient aliens, and the ancient tech. So yeah, for the rest of this week, we're going to go ancient. And that should be a lot of fun. So Pam isn't feeling it, guys, says Samantha. It's one of those things. It's like sometimes I got to feel things out. Sometimes I got to do a little research. But yeah, the conspiracy theory ones, I think everybody has done it so many times. There's so many videos out there. That's a topic I don't want to touch. Survival says, here we go. Here's the link. So in 1 minute, we're gonna all pop over to Survival Never Goes Out of Style 83. And is that is that on your channel, Survival, or is that on Rex's channel, or is it on both? Let me see. I don't see. Where is it? I don't have a. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Praying Mantis. Praying Mantis says it's your channel, love. All right, we got. Here we go. Survival never goes out of style. Okay, it's on Survival's channel, so we should all pop over. Okay, just on yours. Great. Samantha also says, "No problem, girl. This is your channel." You got a point. Oh, I definitely could do lost civilizations like Atlantis. So, because they actually found it. It's in Africa. And so I will definitely kick up the research for that one. But yeah, so this week we are going to go ancient. We've gone futuristic. And now they're live. So take care, everybody.